What's going on, everyone? This is Paul Hutchings. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm coming to you with episode 43 of The Good Parts. Specifically in today's episode, I want to address a question that I received last week. And this is a question that comes up fairly often. I get emails from people from time to time who perceive that I might be of value to them. And they wonder, Paul, will you be my mentor? Will you be my coach? Will you help me go from wherever I'm at right now to where it is that I want to go in my home-based business? And I'll first say that I'm totally honored to receive these questions. I think it's a great compliment when people look to you as a trusted guide. So thank you to everyone who has sent me those questions in the past and who might be thinking about those questions right now. I really appreciate it. And in today's video, I want to answer that question in sort of a broad manner, and also in the process of answering this question, I want to do my very best to give some advice and some counsel that I think can help anyone who is in that category of wanting to find a mentor. And it's really important, I think, that if you're in that category, that you pay attention to what I'm going to say in this video, because there are some pitfalls to this line of thinking that you can fall into that I think can actually prevent you from creating the success that you want to create. Not the least of which is the fact that there are many, many people in the market who recognize that there are a lot of people out there looking for mentors. And, a sure formula for sales is to notice people are wanting something and then to sell the thing that people are wanting. and so there's all kinds of different people out there selling coaching, selling mentoring, saying, hey, the only thing you need is you need a mentor. And hey, it just so happens that I'll be your mentor for the low price of, insert price. And that's not how I have found my best mentors in my journey at all. Paying for coaching, paying for someone to be my mentor, never, ever actually done that. Now, I have purchased products from people who I have viewed as mentors, and I've learned from them that way. But I've never actually hired someone who was selling coaching or mentorship. And that might be a little contrary to the advice out in the market. There's a lot of people out there that say, hire a coach, get a coach. And I get it. A lot of the most successful people say that. Tony Robbins, he's big on hiring coaches. Although Tony Robbins is selling coaching, so it does make sense, that he would say that from that standpoint. Not to say that coaches can't add great value. Certainly they can. And there are a lot of distinctions to be made here. And so that's what I'm going to attempt to do here in this video, is share some of those distinctions as well as my best advice on this topic. So I do want to let you know that I can display your comments. Number 43. Thanks, Amy, for tuning in, right? Episode 43. That's what we call consistency, right? I'm sticking with it. So I appreciate you noticing that. Nick, hey, good morning. Welcome. Bill, I'm glad you combed your hair. Thanks, Bill. Little inside joke. Rita Joy says mentorship is so mystic. Now, that's an interesting comment that I would happen to agree with. So thank you so much for that, Rita Joy. So anyway, I'll get back to more comments at the end of this episode. So if you have questions, post them below. If you're making comments, post them below. So let me go ahead and get into this. I've already mentioned that people ask me this question, and my question, do you even need a mentor to be successful? So I'm asking you guys, do you need a mentor to be successful? What would be your thoughts on that? I would love to hear. Is a mentor even required? Can you go it alone? Can you find success without a mentor? What would you guys say to that question? And I'm sincerely curious. What would you say? Do you need a mentor to be successful? I would love to hear your ideas on that. And I'm looking at the chat, not seeing any answers yet. So I know you guys are probably busy. Some of you are driving, but all right. Well, I'll tell you my thoughts. No, you don't need a mentor to be successful. That's my thought. No, you don't. And why do I say that? Well, one reason I say that is because the moment I tell myself that I need a mentor to be successful is the very same moment that I say to myself, I do not have everything inside of me necessary to succeed. And that's a pitfall because I'd be putting my success outside of myself. Because here's the thing, I can and you can and we can learn from a process called trial and error, which simply means we set a goal that we want to achieve and we go to work and then we notice, hey, this is not working. And then we change and then we try another approach. And then we notice this is also not working. And then we change and we write notes on reality, what's happening. And then we change and then we keep moving forward. We can pick up lessons, necessary lessons from our actual journey. That is one way to learn. And that is why I would say you do not need a mentor to be successful, contrary to what everyone else says. I realize this is contrarian advice. Everyone's out there saying you need a mentor, you need a mentor, you need a mentor. And again, why is it that people are saying that you need a mentor? Two reasons. Number one is because a lot of people are selling mentorship. Obviously, they would say you need a mentor. Or another reason is a lot of people want you to think that by buying something from them or by joining, whatever it is they're selling means that they will be your mentor and therefore you need a mentor. So that's an extra benefit. So, nothing wrong with these things. The other reason that people say you need a mentor is because just because you don't need one doesn't mean that mentorship is not valuable. So that's another way to learn. You can learn from your own journey, number one. But another thing you can do is you can learn from other people's journeys, number two. So even though I'm saying that you don't need a mentor to be successful, what I am also saying is that mentorship, the right mentorship that has your best interest at heart, mentorship that is credible, meaning this mentor that you're following has achieved whatever result it is that you want to achieve, and who also achieved that result in the way that you want to achieve it. That mentorship can be very valuable. And why can it be very valuable? It can be very valuable because instead of learning from your own mistakes and trial and error, you can learn from the experience of other people who went on the same journey as you're on and are ahead in the process. They can shorten it up for you if you're open and you're coachable and you're willing to listen to the lessons that they have to provide. So mentorship can be very valuable when it's the right mentorship. So that's those are some of the things that I wanted to say. But I also wanted to cover what to look for in a mentor. Okay. And I already kind of covered it. We want a mentor that's credible, meaning they've achieved the result that you want to achieve. But then the second one that I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to, and this is really important, is that mentor must have your highest and best interests at heart. And why is that important? Because there are a lot of people out there that have achieved a lot of great results, and they then realize that they can sell those results. And then they then realize that they can package those results and sell them for a lot of money. And if that's the type of mentor that you're following, they may not care so much about your best interests, and they may care more about just getting your money and positioning themselves as your mentor. And that's not what you're looking for, right? When you say, hey, I'd like a mentor, you're not looking for someone to just come suck all the money out of your pocket, are you? I don't think so. That's not what I was ever looking for. I was always looking for people who really cared about me and who wanted to help me win. So I think those are the two best criteria for finding a mentor: is what are the results? Do they have the result that I want? And then number two, do they have my highest and best interests at heart? Second thing I wanted to cover is what kind of a relationship might that look like? And this is, I think, where a lot of people are really coming from when they ask me, Paul, will you be my mentor? Is what they're wanting is they're wanting like a one-on-one relationship where I get on the phone with them, every day or once a week or on a Zoom. And we together spend personal time with each other, looking at their business, looking at their pages, them asking me questions, me giving them direct feedback. I think this is what most people are looking for when they ask me, will you be my mentor? And a couple of things that I want to say on this topic. Okay, so number one, I don't think I've ever had that type of a relationship with a mentor where I'm meeting with them consistently one-on-one. Maybe in the beginning when I first got started in network marketing and I had a sponsor and we were doing live local meetings. I guess you could say we did that. We met locally. We met in a hotel room. We talked to each other on the phone. We would do things together. So in the beginning, I kind of did. But it didn't take very long for me to realize that I wanted to go different places than the people that were around me at that time wanted to go. I wanted to learn the internet. I wanted to utilize leverage. I wanted to work from the comfort of my own home. And that's not what those people were doing. So I had to branch off and go a different way. Okay. Now, still, I realize the value of mentorship. So while I'm branching off and going a different way, I'm looking for mentors who can guide me. And from that point on, though, never, ever did I have somebody who would get on a Zoom with me one-on-one, who would talk to me on the phone one-on-one, who would look at my marketing one-on-one. I never had that in a mentor, never had it. And the reason that I'm sharing this is because that type of a relationship is really not necessary in a mentor-mentee type of relationship. Although a lot of people think that it is necessary, it's actually not necessary. And I actually think that it's oversold, that type of a relationship. And what I mean by that is this. Okay, so take me for example. I have invested countless hours reading books, going through training, taking action in my business. I've picked up so many internal distinctions from being in the game to where I'm at a certain point in my journey with where I'm at, right? And so someone might say, Paul, I'd love to get on a Zoom with you and get that from you. Here's the reality. You can't. You can't get it from me. You can't get all the hours that I put in. You can't get all the books that I've read. You can't get all the conversations I've had. You can't persist through all of the problems and the setbacks and the challenges and the tears. I can't give that to you, and neither can any mentor. So there's a certain part of the journey that is yours. And no matter what you think you can get from a mentor, they cannot give you that. So, I can't just get on a phone and give you everything that you think you need, or give you in a Zoom, give you everything that you think you need. So I think a lot of times people are expecting way too much from a one-on-one mentor-mentee type of relationship. The other, so there's that, yes, we can give you some feedback, some guidance, some lessons. But at the end of the day, most of your lessons are going to come from you being in the game and persisting and going through it, So there's that. And then the other thing that is important to think about, and then I'll get back to the relationship, the most powerful and valuable mentor relationships that I've had. I'll come back to that. But the third point, how mentorship might change if your goal is to build a residual income. So if your goal is to build a residual income, one of the things that is really important that my very first mentors taught me, and my mentors today still teach me, is the concept of leverage. Leverage is where you're able to do more with less. It's where you're able to do more with less. So in a mentor-mentee type of a relationship, here's something that I'll tell you. I've never sold personal coaching. I may have sold it for a couple of weeks. I sold personal coaching for a couple of weeks and people bought it, and then they booked appointments with me. And then what I realized was that I was actually now a slave to my calendar and a slave to being on the phone with people. And I quickly realized that, hey, this is not why I started a business that could give me residual income. I don't want to be a slave to my calendar. I don't want to be a slave to my phone. I do not want to be trading time for dollars, which is what you're doing if you're selling personal coaching. You're trading your personal one-on-one time for dollars, that's not the type of business that I want. I want residual income, which is freedom, right? So another quote on this topic, there's a guy that I follow on Twitter that is a very successful venture capitalist. His name is Naval Ravikant. And one of his quotes is this: you can't get rich renting out your time. And he's speaking rich financially. And of course, I realize there are other aspects of being rich, but financially, you can't get rich renting out your time. So if you ask a mentor to mentor you one-on-one, I want you to realize what you're really asking. You're asking them to take their personal time, which is all of our personal time is so limited, and you're asking them to give their personal time to you. And that's a big ask, guys. That's a big ask. As my businesses become more and more successful, my time is more and more and more and more limited because I have things that I could be doing that are benefiting potentially thousands of people. And so I sometimes have these requests where it's like, Paul, can you spend 5 or 10 or 30 minutes on the phone with me one-on-one? Now I have to make a choice, right? Do I spend 30 minutes with one person here, or do I spend my precious 30 minutes over here where I could be doing something that could be potentially benefiting thousands of people? The choice is obvious, right? I have to put my time to the place where it's going to be benefiting the most people. So if your goal is to build a residual income, I would love to encourage you to look at mentorship in a different way. And this is the way that I've looked at it, for many years. And I've looked at it this way. I don't look for mentors who are giving me their one-on-one time. Instead, I look for mentors who are credible, right? As I've talked about, and who have my highest and best interests at heart. And then what I do is I learn from them from wherever I'm at. I don't have to be on a phone with them. I don't have to be on a Zoom with them. I can learn from them from wherever I'm at. What does that look like? Well, one thing that looks like is me sitting in my desk reading books from multimillionaires. Gary Keller, right? Never met the guy, never talked to him. Is he a mentor? Yes, because he took the time to share his most valuable insights into a book that I can now pick up and read and learn from him. And I can find the lessons that are relevant to my personal journey. So that's one way that I have unlimited mentors. Look behind me. All of these people on my bookshelves, those are all mentors. Another way to do this in business, I have a company, and we have leverage built into our company. And one of the ways that we do this, and we realize the value of coaching, we realize that people do want and need feedback from mentors. So what did we do? We leveraged that mentorship by creating 13 live group interactions every single week, where I'll give you an example. For an hour a day, Monday through Friday, I am live and my business partner is live. We've sold millions and millions of dollars of products on the internet. We are live for an hour a day, and we're doing our work in front of people. And then we have time for Q&A where we field whatever questions people have. We will look at people's marketing, right? But we're doing it in a group setting, and we're doing it all together so that in that 1 hour, the idea is that we help lots and lots and lots and lots of people. And then we're done, with the mentorship and the coaching. But here's the thing that's fascinating to me is, even though we do this every day, I still often get questions from people who are asking me to be their mentor. And those same people I never see on one of the live coaching masterminds. And I don't know why that is. I think maybe in part it's because they perceive that, maybe this group coaching mastermind, there's no value there. That would be a mistake. There's so much value in our group coaching masterminds. And so if you'll utilize leverage and find mentorship where it is, the best mentors, learn from them where you're at, and then go on the journey, picking up your advice and feedback while you're reading, while you're watching videos, while you're asking questions in live group settings, you can get the mentorship that you need, and also at the same time, build your business in a way where you're creating freedom for yourself and not setting yourself up in a way where now you're going to have 1,000 people down the road wanting your personal one-on-one time, which is not a formula for freedom. And by the way, this is all coming from a guy. This is me. Okay. So in my beginning stages of building my business on the internet, I was the guy who loved to get on the phone with my prospects. It works. It works really well in a sales situation. I love spending time with people one-on-one. I love asking questions, hearing their answers, making people laugh, believing in people one-on-one. I love that interaction. And for the longest time, I would not move away from that because it worked and it gave me lots of soul pay. So as I'm sitting here talking about, being aware of the one-on-one stuff, I want you to realize that I understand all of the benefits of the one-on-one stuff. I've done so much one-on-one stuff. I love the one-on-one stuff. And then I got to a point in my business where it just became impossible for me to do it anymore. And then I started to realize that, oh, wow, now I see like the leverage is really, really important. And here's one other thing on mentorship that mentors sometimes think about and that you might want to think about. And then I'll close up here pretty quickly because I've gone kind of long today on a little bit of a rant. The other thing to be aware of is that one of the challenges that leaders have is to inspire people to take action. And the reason that I consider that a challenge is because I would say for a large group of people just doesn't take action. No matter what you tell them, no matter what advice you give them, there's just a large group of people that just doesn't take action. And so if you're considering giving away your one-on-one time, you have to be aware of the fact that you could be giving your time to people and giving your valuable advice to people who are going to do nothing with it. And that's not a very exciting prospect, right? Like to give your personal time away to someone who's not going to do anything with it. Now, I'm not saying they'll never do anything with it. Sometimes people need time, like a gestation, like a seed in the soil. I believe this, actually. This was part of my journey. When I first got started in home business, I didn't just go out and take massive action. There was a long period of time where I had to hear the ideas over and over and over. And I had to work through in my own mind, is this business really legitimate? Can I really do this? Is this real? I had to build the confidence. So there was a long period of time where I just had to grow me on the inside. And any advice that a one-on-one mentor would have given me at that point really wouldn't have been very valuable because I wasn't taking action. So anyway, yeah, so that's it, guys. What to look for in a mentor, what kind of relationship that might look like, how mentorship might change if your goal is to build a residual income. And do you even need a mentor to be successful? So these are my thoughts. I hope that they help you. I hope that they guide you. I hope that they help you to know what to look for, what to stay away from, and what to expect, from your most valuable mentors. Because if they're a really valuable mentor, they're probably not going to be running around wanting to spend 8 hours on the phone with you. If they're really valuable, and valuable just means they other people perceive them as valuable too, right? Because if a lot of people perceive you as valuable, guess what's happening? Everyone's wanting your time, right? So you can't just be running around giving your time away, all over the place. And even if I charge thousands of dollars for coaching, I still wouldn't want to do it because it's not leveraged, right? It's not freedom. So with that, that's Good Parts, episode 43. If you are, and I'm going to get to the comments here. So thanks everyone for all the comments. If you got value from this and want to get more content like this in the future, I would love to encourage you to subscribe to me on social media, which by the way, is another way you can get coaching from me. If you have a question, comment below this video. I'll create a video, answer your question in a leveraged way, right? So, but yeah, subscribe to me on social media. You can also go to my website, paulhutchings.net/GIFTS and get a free gift and subscribe to my email list. And with that, let me jump to the comments. It looks like the comments are on fire today. So Jeff says, love these lives. Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Mike Hobbs says, great topic. Thank you, Mike. Kevin Coe says, what is successful? Good question. Voltaire said, if you wish to converse with me, define your terms. So that's what Kevin's doing there. So great question, Kevin. Bill Fever says we are part of a community that mentor each other. Yes, absolutely. That's the goal. Sean, no, you don't. We are all individuals. You admit self-defeat when you need. That's exactly right, Sean. Boom. Exactly what I said. So that means it's right. Just kidding. Right. But success does leave clues. Claudia says, I say you can definitely be successful by yourself, but it will take you a bit longer. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. You'll learn by making your own mistakes, which can and should be transformed into lessons. See how smart this group of people is? You guys are so wise. Thank you for hitting that. Nick says, that actually makes a lot of sense, but it is nice to have someone who believes in you and gives you a helping hand once in a while. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Veronique from Belgium says, hi, hello. Sean says, that's what a fabulous community is for. Yes, absolutely. Claudia says, boom, agreed. Awesome. Boom, boom. Back to you, Claudia. Nick says, exactly. That's what I meant. You don't want to call it a mentor, but someone that you look up to because they already have made the journey prior, right? Yeah, guys, like one of my best mentors. Look at this on my wall. Do you guys know who that is? Napoleon Hill, Laws of Success. I never met that guy. Never met him. But I feel like I have because I've read closely so much of his material that it is a big part of my philosophy for moving forward. And we can have mentors like that, all over the place. Gio says, I think it can cut time if it's a quality mentor, but not everyone is quality. Yes, great distinction. Anyone could sell it, but not everyone is a true mentor. So you have to be careful. Yep, absolutely. I say only get a mentor in this area specifics when you want to learn in. Okay, great. Thank you for that, Gio. Robert says that's true. Nick says you don't need a mentor. You need mentorship, coaching, guidance, and advice from experienced people. Yes, yes. Sean says it's the worst when you talk to so-called mentors and they are literally doing these one-on-one things with you just to sell you another thing that they offer. It is absolutely horrible when people do that, right? And it's very common, and I've done it. It really is a great way to create sales, connecting with people. New member coaching session. And, I think it can be kind of coaching in a way if you do it right, like where you're finding out what someone's goal is, finding out why it is they want to get there, giving them some advice in the process, and then presenting what you think might be their next best step. And that may include a product purchase. So I think there's a classy way to do that in a way that, that works. But yeah, it definitely can be way out of hand. The way that people promote it as a coaching session, and then it's like, buy the next product. And that's the only thing that it's about. So great point, Sean. Tim says a mentor can save you time and keep you from making some mistakes, but you still have to do your part of the work. Yep, absolutely. Bill says, I love the passion you are showing today. I think passion is important in building a business. This is what I learned from you, a mentor to many today. Thanks so much, Bill. Appreciate that big time. Mike Hobbs says, my best mentors were silent mentors where I just learned from them from books they wrote, videos they shot, or group Zooms they did for their community. Same here, Mike. In fact, I paid for one-on-one coaching from someone, and after a couple sessions of that, I preferred his group coaching more. Less pressure. Haha. Right? Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. Gio says, great points, Paul. I never thought about not being able to give someone skill sets. Most of people's success has to do with their personal internal beliefs and their discipline. Yeah, right? Isn't that so true, Gio? You can't give that to people. You can help people maybe like shift belief a little bit over time, but you can't just reach into someone's brain and change all their beliefs just like that. That doesn't happen. And the same with skills. You can teach people how to do something, but the actual skill comes from the implementation and the practice and the repetition and the different scenarios in which that thing pops up. And you can't give that to people. So I appreciate that comment. He says success in marketing has very little to do with the actual marketing and more to do with structure, discipline, and how they grow. And you're absolutely right. We can't control that, right? I can't give people my stories, and you can't give me your stories. Like, yeah, we can kind of share them a little bit, but I can't get on a Zoom with you and say, okay, here's every story that's ever happened to me in business, good and bad. And guess what? Like, that's a big chunk of my marketing, right? The stories that I've gone through, and it will be a big chunk of this, of your marketing as well. Shafat says, I am facing sound problem. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully everyone else can hear. Danny says, I don't want to steal anyone's time. Yeah, me neither. We want to be an investment for everyone as much as we can. We are feeding multiple birds at one time. Yep, absolutely. Tim says, I love the one-on-one or in-person group vibe, but it's a one-way ticket to time slavery. It definitely can be, for sure. And it's a balance, and I don't know that I figured it out. Yeah. So Robert says, awesome. Your live's awesome, bro. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. Minister Christian says, having a standalone spirit will guarantee success. I like that. Veronique says, you are the first and best mentors we have. Oh, thanks so much. And Peter says, yes, indeed. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for all the great, valuable comments. And I love and believe in all of you guys. I know that we all have greatness within us, and that we can overcome so much if we will just persist, take action, and look for the lessons that are all around us. Look for the lessons on the email lists of the people you consider mentors. How are they writing? How are they telling stories? How are they doing calls to actions? How are they doing their videos? What are the language structures and patterns that they're using? And you just kind of like pick a little bit up over time as you persist forward. So I'm going to stop. Have an awesome day, everybody. Hope you had a great Memorial Day, and I'll be back tomorrow live on Good Parts number 44. So have an awesome day, guys. Take care, and bye for now.